It's 11:43 p.m. The house is quiet. Too quiet. You're staring at your phone, willing it to light up. You've checked her Instagram 3 times in the last hour. You know she's online. But she hasn't texted. And that silence? It's louder than any argument you ever had. Your brain is screaming questions. Did I push too hard? Is she with someone else? If I just send one more text, maybe she'll realize what she's losing. Am I invisible to her now? Here's the truth that hurts before it heals. You aren't being ignored because she doesn't care. You're being ignored because your presence has become a source of pressure, not peace. You are not failing at love. This isn't a sign that you were never enough. Every man who has ever loved deeply has stood exactly where you are right now, feeling like he's shouting into a void. But today, we stop shouting. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why no contact feels so agonizingly slow. And more importantly, you will learn the specific psychological shift that turns that silence from a punishment into your greatest asset. We aren't just going to wait her out. We are going to become the man she can't stop thinking about. Let's get into it. Most men believe that no contact is a tactic. They think it's a strategic pause, a way to play hard to get, or a countdown timer until she comes crawling back. They treat silence like a weapon they are wielding against her. But the real truth is much deeper. No contact isn't about her. It's about your nervous system. When a relationship ends, especially if it ended with conflict or drift, your partner's nervous system has associated you with stress. Even if she loves you, her body remembers the anxiety. Her amygdala, the fear center of her brain, is currently tagging your name as threat or demand. So when you reach out, even with good intentions, you aren't sending love, you're triggering her defense mechanisms. She pulls away not because she's cold, but because she's trying to regulate her own emotions. And here is the part no one talks about. If you spend no contact obsessing over her, checking her socials, and rehearsing conversations in your head, you are still energetically chasing her. You are still in the anxious attachment loop, and energy is contagious. She can feel that desperation, even from miles away. The goal of no contact isn't to make her miss you. The goal is to make you miss yourself. Because a man who is whole, regulated, and moving forward is infinitely more attractive than a man who is waiting for permission to be happy. This isn't a trick, it's a biological reset. And once you understand that, everything changes. First, stop filling the silence. Most people in relationships believe that if they stop talking, the connection dies. So they fill every gap with texts, memes, or just checking in messages. They fear that if they aren't present, they will be forgotten. But psychologically, memory and longing require space. You cannot miss someone who is constantly in your pocket. Emotional attraction grows in the vacuum. When you remove your constant availability, you force her brain to switch from reacting to you to remembering you. Her mind begins to fill that empty space with curiosity. Why isn't he chasing me? Is he okay? What is he doing? Imagine the old version of you. He sends a good morning text. She doesn't reply for 6 hours. He sends a follow-up. Hey, everything okay? Then another. Guess you're busy. The vibe is needy. It's heavy. Now imagine the new version. He sends nothing. He goes to the gym. He works on his project. He laughs with friends. 6 hours pass, then a day. She checks her phone. No notification from him. For the first time in months, there is no pressure on her screen, just space. And in that space, her curiosity wakes up. That's when you stop being a notification she ignores and start becoming a mystery she wants to solve. Second, become unrecognizable. Most couples break up because one person stops growing while the other keeps evolving. Or worse, both people stagnate together. Most men spend the breakup period trying to prove they've changed by telling her. They send long paragraphs explaining their epiphanies. But words are cheap. Behavior is expensive. Your ex-partner doesn't need to hear that you're working on yourself. She needs to see it reflected in your energy. When you genuinely upgrade your life, your fitness, your career, your emotional regulation, you change your frequency. You are no longer the same man she left. And that creates a cognitive dissonance in her mind. Wait, is that really him? The disconnecting move is posting sad quotes on social media, asking mutual friends to tell her you're doing better, or trying to look busy while actually feeling empty. The connecting move is actually joining that run club, actually finishing that certification, actually therapy processing your attachment wounds so you don't repeat them. When she eventually sees you, whether online or in person, you don't look like you're surviving. You look like you're thriving. And thriving is magnetic. That's the shift that turns pity into respect, and respect into desire. Third, master your nervous system. Most people think confidence is about swagger or status. But in relationships, true confidence is emotional stability. Most men react to rejection with anger or collapse into despair. They let their mood depend entirely on her actions. Here's the deeper truth. Women are biologically wired to seek safety. Not just physical safety, but emotional safety. If you are volatile, anxious, or reactive, her nervous system reads you as unsafe. But if you can hold your ground, stay calm, and remain kind despite the pain of separation, you demonstrate high-value emotional maturity. You become a rock, not a leaf in the wind. Imagine she reaches out with a test, maybe a vague text, "Hey, saw this and thought of you." The old you panics. Does this mean we're back on? Should I call immediately? What do I say? Your heart races. You overthink. The new you pauses. You breathe. You recognize the trigger. You reply calmly, warmly, but briefly. "Good to hear from you. Hope you're well." And then you put the phone down and go back to your life. You don't spike her dopamine with excessive attention. You don't punish her with coldness. You just exist. Stable. Grounded. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to say a word. Fourth, live loudly, not for her. Most men try to hide their happiness after a breakup because they feel guilty, or they isolate themselves thinking solitude shows seriousness. They withdraw from their social circle, believing that suffering in silence is noble. But isolation breeds obsession. When you have no other sources of joy, she becomes your only source. That is heavy. That is suffocating. Social proof isn't about making her jealous. It's about showing that your world is full, vibrant, and complete without her. It signals abundance, and abundance is irresistible. The disconnecting version is staying home every weekend, scrolling through old photos, and letting your friends walk on eggshells around you. The connecting version is going to that concert you always wanted to see, reconnecting with old friends, laughing genuinely in group photos, not posting it to taunt her, posting it because you're actually having fun. When she sees that light in your eyes, a light that isn't dependent on her validation, something shifts in her. He's happy? Without me? It challenges her narrative that she was the source of your joy. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person who missed out on something special. Fifth, leave the door ajar, not wide open. Most people think no contact means blocking everyone and disappearing forever. Or they think it means waiting for her to beg. Both are extremes. Most couples fail because they slam the door shut or leave it wide open. The psychological sweet spot is the ajar door. You are accessible but not available. You are friendly but not intimate. This creates a curiosity loop. If you are completely gone, she can write you off as the ex who couldn't handle it. If you are too available, she takes you for granted. But if you are warm yet distant, polite yet busy, her brain keeps trying to figure you out. Humans are wired to solve puzzles. Be the puzzle. Imagine you run into her at a coffee shop. The old you freezes, looks down, or tries to have a 20-minute conversation to prove he's fine. The new you smiles, makes eye contact, says, "Hey, great to see you. I'm actually rushing to meet a friend, but hope you're doing great. And you keep walking. You didn't ignore her. You didn't cling to her. You valued your time. Her brain registers. He's not angry. He's not desperate. He's just moved on. And that thought, it haunts her. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one where she wonders if she made a mistake. Listen to me closely. This isn't a checklist of tricks to manipulate her emotions. It's an invitation to reclaim your own. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding. You stop waiting for her to validate your worth and start building a life that validates itself. And paradoxically, that is the only thing that ever brings love back, or brings better love in. You are not doing this to make her regret losing you. You are doing this so that you never regret losing yourself. Because here is the final truth. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become one.